Students, today's class is on lens and cataract. Let's see about the anatomy of the lens. So we'll know about the physiology of lens, where we know about the pH of the lens, transport of ions, amino acid and sugar transport, embryogenesis of lens, functions of lens, light transmission and accommodation of lens, abnormalities of lens. It's congenital abnormalities and cataract. So let's move into anatomy of lens. So lens is a biconvex structure which is transparent, non-vascularized, and there's no nerves in it. The anterior surface is less convex when compared to that of posterior surface. The equator is perpendicular to the anterior posterior axis. Lens is 3.5 millimeter away from the cornea. So the lens consists of capsule, which is an elastic membrane. So it consists of capsule, anterior capsule and posterior capsule. The lens proper has the outer cortex where the young fibers are present and the inner nucleus layer is there. So the nucleus are nothing but the old fibers which lay around the Y-shaped suture. So the capsule is an elastic membrane. It's permeable and constantly reproduced by the basal membrane of the lens epithelium anteriorly and elongating fibers of that's present posteriorly. And lens is thickest at the equator. The thinnest region is at the posterior surface. The lens consists of stacked lamellae, which is made up of collagen, laminin, heparin sulfate proteoglycan, fibrinolactin, and lactase. The epithelial cells of lens they are single layer cuboidal cells below the capsule extending anteriorly to reach the equator. Distribution and reproductive capacity of the epithelial cells. At the central zone, high concentration and but low productivity. And the equator proliferative capacity increases at transition zone. Epithelial cells elongate and differentiate. At the germinative zone, stem cells are present, and there is formation of new fibers and continuous growth of lens fibers. Cortex of the lens is made of densely packed secondary fibers, and it is formed after sexual maturity. Very little extracellular space is there. So it is a peripheral part. Embryonic nucleus is the innermost part, which represents 1 to 3 months of gestation. 3 months of gestation. Fetal nucleus represents from 3 months to birth. Infantile nucleus represents from birth to puberty, and from there on, adult nucleus is there. So the sutures are formed by overlapping of secondary fibers in each growth cell. Sutures are their erect Y-shaped sutures appear in the anterior surface of the fetal nucleus. So around this older fibers they get arranged. What are the characteristics of lens? You can see the growth of lens. It is greatest at the younger age. during second decades of life, epithelial cells and lens fibers increase rapidly. In mass of lens, it increases from 65 milligram at birth to 125 milligram after first year. So look into the dimensions of lens. So anteriorly it is less convex, and the radius of curvature is 10 microns. Posteriorly it is 6 microns. The thickness of anterior posterior diameter is 3.5 millimeter at birth, and it increases 0.02 millimeter each year throughout life. Equatorial diameter or the lens diameter, it is generally from nasal to temporal measurement. It is 5 millimeter at birth and increases to 9 millimeter in second decade and remains constant throughout life. More into the physiology of lens. So transport of ions. Crystallines they are negatively charged. They attract positively charged ions from the extracellular fluid to maintain intracellular neutrality. The positively charged ions are sodium ions. For 3 sodium, 1 potassium is pushed outside. And the extracellular calcium decreases. Calmodine regulated calcium ATPase pump transport calcium ion out of cell. pH of the lens is around 7. pH of lens increases from nucleus towards the periphery. Amino acid and sugar transport. The glucose is converted inside the lens fibers. It is converted into glucose 6 phosphate by glycolysis, and it undergoes enters glucose 6 phosphate enters PPP pathway. Reduced glutathione acts as antioxidant. When there is increased the number of glutathione, will lead to cataract formation. Embryogenesis of lens. The lens plate originates from the surface ectoderm, the germinal layer arising from the gastrula of cells of embryo during the 27th day of ocular embryogenesis. So you can see the optic vesicle. When the optic vesicle touches the surface ectoderm, the optic vesicle is a part of neuroectoderm. Surface that part thickens, the surface ectoderm thickens, and it invaginates into the optic vesicle. So the optic vesicle forms optic cup, and the surface ectoderm invaginates, forms a lens vesicle, and then the lens fibers are developed from the lens placule. The lens pit is at the inferior center of the lens plate, invaginates to form the lens vesicle. Primary lens fibers begins forming during 6th week. Embryogenic lens nucleus starts during 7th. So the first step in lens development is elongation of posterior cells into the cavity. So the lens vesicle got the anterior and the posterior part. The anterior cells elongate and they reduce the cavity. The primary lens fibers are crystalline. The cells along the equatorial region, they form the secondary lens fibers. The anterior cells at the edges begin to grow and form the secondary lens fibers. And the newly formed lens fibers have consistent hexagonal shape. The secondary lens fibers, after forming, they form rings around the primary lens fibers. The process of secondary lens fibers repeats as the lens gain size and weight. First step includes the cortex of secondary lens fibers increase in size. The original primary lens fibers persist to form the nucleus. So only the outermost secondary lens fibers contain the nuclei. New secondary lens fibers continue to form throughout the life of the individual. Lens does not increase in size in adulthood. The density of secondary lens fibers increases. Compression of uh, the primary lens fibers forms the nucleus. Function of lens. Function of lens includes light transmission, accommodation of lens. Light transmission, the lens allows passage of 90% of light while absorbing UVA and UVB light rays. The proteins in the lens are arranged for minimal scattering. Any increase in size of this protein or more will cause coagulation of this protein will cause cataract. Ways to lose transparency. Formation of opaque fibers. Fibrous metaplasia can occur, epithelial opacification can occur, and accumulation of pigments, formation of deposits of extracellular materials. Accommodation of lens. Lens is biconvex, intensifies the focusing power. Uh, so here you can see when you want to see a distant object, the lens is flat. So when you want to see a close object, the lens by convexity increases. The ciliary muscles contract. For near vision, the ciliary muscles contract. The central lens thickens and increases its power. Abnormalities of lens. The congenital abnormalities include primary aphakia. It's a rare eye condition, and the lens is absent at birth. So the treatment will be contact lens glasses. Secondary aphakia. Secondary aphakia is disappearance of a part or whole of lens as a result of degeneration or absorption. Here the treatment is glasses, contact lenses, or IOL. Duplication of lens. Abnormality during invagination of lens fluid from the ectoderm surface associated with corneal metaplasia and coloboma of iris and choroid. There can be microspirophakia. Microspirophakia, the lens of the eye is smaller than the normal and is spherical in shape. Treatment includes eyeglasses, IOL, laser iridotomy. Other abnormalities includes lens coloboma, where there is notching of the equator of lens. It's caused by faulty development of the zonules. The lens is thicker and more spherical. The treatment includes glasses, contact lenses. Lenticonus. The lenticonus is nothing but the thinning of the lens capsule and deficiency of epithelial cells. So there is conical protrusion of the lens, which leads to conical protrusion of the lens in lenticonus. In lentiglobus, it is spherical protrusion. So the treatment includes a removal of the lens and IOL implantation. Ectopia of lens. In ectopia of lens, abnormal positioning of lens is there, can be partial or complete. The abnormalities is because of the zonular fibers. So there is increased pressure of eye, which leads to glaucoma, retinal detachment. The treatment includes pain relievers, anti-glaucoma treatment in severe cases, surgery is required to remove the lens. Mitchenjoff George. Mitchenjoff George is a small, dense, floating opacity behind the posterior lens capsule. It's because of the remnant of hyaloid artery. So the hyaloid artery is found in the mesenchyme. Hyaloid artery supplies the lens during development. The treatment and no treatment is required. And the epicapsular star. In this abnormality, it is a star-shaped distribution of golden flecks on the central anterior lens capsule. Remnants of these are nothing but the remnants of vascular network that surround the lens during embryogenesis. The treatment includes phacoemulsification, IOL implantation, aniridia. The complete absence of iris. There can be anterior posterior pole, opacities can be there. Treatment includes anti-glaucoma treatment, anti-glaucoma drugs, and corrective lens with shaded screens to reduce the light sensitivity to prevent photophobia. Other abnormalities includes myopia. Here the lens is thickened. The image is focused in front of the retina. It is corrected with concave lens. Hypermetropia, the lens is thin or can be because of shortened eyeball. Here the image is focused in front of retina. It is treated with convex spectacles. Presbyopia. In aging, presbyopia is seen in aging. Here the lens loses elasticity. There is accommodation, there is a decline in accommodation. So the patient has a difficulty in seeing nearer objects. Treatment includes reading glasses. Cataract. So cataract is one of the main causes for blindness. So this is a preventable blindness. Cataract is nothing but clouding of lens. This patient comes with symptoms of diminished vision, and there can be glare, and myopic shift can be there. That is increase of dioptric power of lens, causing mild to moderate myopia. So there can be monocular diplopia because of formation of refractile area in the center of lens. Signs of cataract. Signs of cataract, there's change in lens appearance. The color of the lens can be brown. Mature cataract can be white. In ophthalmoscopic, red reflex is absent in mature cataract. Causes and types of cataract. Congenital cataract, it is present at birth. Infantile cataract, it develops during first year of life. The congenital cataract, intraocular infections like toxoplasmosis, CMV infection, and rubella herpes infection of the mother can, the first trimester can lead to congenital cataract. Other types of cataract includes polar cataract, sutural cataract, nuclear cataract. In polar cataract, the opacity is present in the lens capsule and subcapsular cortex. Sutural cataract, there is opacification of the white suture of the fetal nucleus. Nuclear cataract, the embryonic nucleus, and the fetal nucleus, they opacify. Capsular cataract, small opacification of the lens of anterior lens capsule. leads to capsular cataract. Lamellar cataract is the most common type of congenital cataract which occurs from the opacification of specific lens fibers or zones of lens fibers. Complete cataract, complete opacification of the lens. Here, this lens is just pearly white, and the retina cannot be seen. What is the process of congenital developmental cataract? It can be hereditary or genetic disorders like trisomy 21, 13, and 18. You can see cataract and metabolic disorders like diabetes, galactosemia, hypothyroidism, hypoglycemia. Cataract formation can be there. Congenital rubella and can be seen along with ocular anomalies. So systemic syndromes like Porter syndrome, congenital and developmental cataract can be there. And dermatological diseases like atopic dermatitis, cataract formation is seen. Acquired age-related cataract. This is as the eye ages, the lens gain in weight and thickness, and there is a decrease in accommodative power. Nuclear cataract, there's hardening and yellowing of the nucleus. So this leads to impairment of distant vision. Cortical cataract is hydration of the cortex. Development of subcapsular vacuoles are present. The transparency of cortex changes. Anterior subcapsular cataract, epithelial cells will become elongated, spindle-shaped, and myofibroblastic. So this is caused by trauma to the central epithelium because of the exposure to UV rays. Posterior subcapsular cataract is because of dysplastic change in the germinal epithelium. Here the lens are distorted and unorganized. Swelling of cortical lens fibers is seen, and there is a degeneration of the nuclei of the superficial fibers. There's massive water intake and the swelling of lens is seen. Liquefaction of cortex leads to leakage of crystalline fragments into the anterior chamber. Advanced cataract, the lens swells and increases in volume, and there's complete opacification. In hypermature cataract, it is caused by absorption of the milky cortex, reducing the lens volume, causing folds to form in the anterior lens capsule. Systemic disorders that causes cataract include galactosemia. So that is because of the accumulation of galaxitol, and this leads to lens swelling. So because of osmotic nature of galaxitol. In diabetes mellitus, it is sorbitol that is causing the uh, increase, increase of water inside the lens. Fabry's diseases. It is an X-linked lysosomal storage disorder. This is because of abnormal glycolipid in the lens fibers. Lowy syndrome. Lowy syndrome is there. Alport syndrome is there. Lowy syndrome, the total cataract is because of uh, yeah, the lens is small, and there is metaplastic epithelial cells are there. It's a X-linked disorder. Alport syndrome, it is see congenital postnatal cortical cataract with anterior and posterior lenticonus is there, and microspherophakia is present in Alport syndrome. Dystrophia myotonica, it is inherited diseases with multilamellar diseases causes obesity of the lens. Dermatological disorders includes atopy, ichthyosis, Thompson syndrome, Cockayne syndrome, incontinentia pigmentae, Werner's syndrome. central nervous system, that is the disease is affecting the central nervous system, that is neurofibromatous type 2 and Zellweger syndrome, Norris diseases, that cataract is seen. So the development of symmetric non-malignant brain tumor, which is a neurofibromatous type 2 in the region of cranial nerve 8. Zellweger syndrome is because of absence or reduction in the function of peroxisome in cells. Norris diseases is because of the mutation of NDP gene on the X chromosome. There is, you can see an abnormal. Ocular diseases that can lead to cataract formation are glaucoma, some anti-glaucoma drugs, uveitis, because of the inflammation can lead to cortical obesity, that is a secondary cataract or complicated cataract, retinitis pigmentosa, dilate atrophy, degenerative myopia, retinal detachment, surgery, tumors of ciliary body can lead to cataract. Infections like herpes zoster and rubella virus can lead to cataract formation. Other causes of cataract include severe diarrhea, malnutrition, there is vitamin A, C, and E during. Uh, so malnutrition will cause increase in oxidants, radical oxidants, which causes radical injury to the lens fibers, thereby causing cataract. Smoking and alcohol, and in cortical cataract, the soluble protein content decreases while insoluble proteins increases, which leads to cortical cataract. In nuclear cataract, there is insoluble protein increase. Chromophores accumulate in the cells. These chromophores causes color changing of uh, the lens, that is the nucleus. So the nuclear cataract is brown in color. So denaturation of proteins by free radicals by due to exposure of ultraviolet rays will lead to unfolding of the proteins, thereby formation of light scattering is increased because of denatured proteins. So the patient comes with complaints of glare in case of cataract. Diagnosis includes slit lamp empire microscope examination, where you see you examine the anterior part of the eye, cornea, anterior chamber, the lens. The lens is examined after dilating the pupil with the tropicamide plus. So you see the color of the lens. And, in early stages, vacuoles can be seen underneath the lens capsule. Treatment of cataract. So initially at early days, it was around 18th century, they used to do couching for cataract, where a small sharp instrument is used and to push the lens back into the vitreous. Thereon, they developed extracellular, extracapsular cataract extraction, which is ECCE. Incision is around 8 millimeter to 10 millimeter at the sclerocorneal junction. And a small incision is made in front of the portion of anterior lens capsule, which is called as the capsulorhexis. So the lens is removed, and instead of natural lens, place artificial lens, that is intraocular lens, is placed inside the posterior capsule bag. Another type of cataract surgery is intracapsular cataract extraction. Here the lens is removed along with the capsule. Incision is very large and the capsule is removed by traction, that is side to side motion to break the zonules. Enzyme alpha chymotrypsin is given to dissolve the zonular fibers. What are the disadvantages of ICC and advantages? Advantage of ICC is removal of lens, so no residue is present. It is less complicated. Disadvantages, there are many disadvantages of ICC, hence it is not used nowadays. There is a delayed healing is there, delayed visual rehabilitation, and it is aphakic eye, and there is significant astigmatism is present. Post-operative wound leaks is there, so can lead to macular edema, retinal detachment, and the corneal edema is also present. Endothelial, because of the endothelial cell loss is greater in ICC when compared to ECC. So, ECC, difference between ECC and ICC. ECC, this incision is around 5 to 6 mm, whereas in ICC it is 10 to 12 mm. Here, in ECC, posterior lens capsule is conserved. Here, the lens is removed along with the capsule. No stitches are required. Stitches are required in both the cases. IOL implanted in ECC. In ICC, it is eye is left aphakic. Post-operative complication is minimal when compared to ICC. See the steps of cataract surgery. So, initially, the patient is given cycloplegics, nutriotic drugs to dilate the pupil, and small incision is made. Then a capsular excision is made to expose the lens. Hydrodissection is done to separate the nucleus and the epinucleus. Hydrodissection is done to separate the nucleus and the cortex. And, in case of phacoemulsification, the incision is very small, that is around 4 mm. In case of SICS, the incision is around 5 to 6 mm. And in case of ECC, it is large, that is 7 to 8 mm. In phacoemulsification, the nucleus is trenched using ultrasonic probe, and the lens used is foldable. In SICS, it is a rigid lens which is made up of PMMA material. So before taking the patient to this theater, we have to get the consent of the patient, and we have to do a xylocaine test dose has to be done. Injection TT has to be given, and the anesthetized to anesthetize the eye, the route is peribulbar route and retrobulbar route is there. And peribulbar route is used nowadays. Retrobulbar is not used because of complication. That is retrobulbar hemorrhage, which can lead to compressive optic neuropathy. Drug used are 2% lignocaine. For longer duration, we add bupivacaine is added. So what are the medications that are given during cataract surgery? 3 we dilate the patient, and prophylactic antibiotics and antiseptics are given. Intraoperative can give intracameral moxiflox can be given, and the postoperative uh, antibiotics along with steroids for the anti-inflammatory effect. It is injected subconjunctivally. Viscoelastics. Viscoelastics are they are hyaluronic acid or hydroxymethyl cellulose. What does the use means? This prevents the uh, endothelial. This protects the corneal endothelium and it keeps the anterior chamber formed. That way we can introduce the instrument into the anterior chamber. So what are the kinds of intraocular lens that are fixed? First intraocular lens was implanted by Dr. Harold Ridley around 1950 at St. Thomas Hospital. First generation of IOL includes PMMA, that is biconvex polymethyl methacrylate, and it was implanted after CCE. And, the second generation is implanted in the anterior chamber after ICCE. The third generation, it is iris supported, iris claw lens. The side effects includes iris atrophy, dislocation can be there, capillary deformity can be there. The fourth generation, which is an intermediate anterior chamber IOL, which includes this, the lens design. There is nowadays we use uh, lens IOL placed made of PMMA silicone acrylic. So the acrylic and the silicone lens, they require only small incision. Secondary cataract. Secondary cataract, the posterior, it is nothing with the posterior capsule opacification, which develops in 50% of the patients. Here it is because of the remnants, there can be remnants of the cells from the original cataract and can go and migrate, forming opacification of the posterior capsule. Types of secondary cataract, it can be fibrous type or it can be pearly type. In fibrous type posterior capsule opacification, anterior epithelial cells form spindle shaped fibroblasts and migrate to the posterior capsule, and hence there are white opacities can be seen. There is a wrinkling of posterior capsule. In pearl type posterior capsule opacification is because of the residues of equatorial epithelial cells. Equatorial epithelial cells which form pearl-like structures on the posterior capsule. Other causes of PCO include Schromm-Rings rings. It's because of the increase in the volume of lens fibers between the anterior and the posterior chamber. There's breakdown of the blood apophysis. So the inflammatory cells are released in fibrils are deposited on the IOL and capsule causing opacities. So PCO formation is more, the chance of PCO formation is more in SICS when compared to phacoemulsification. How to prevent PCO? Is the removal of epithelial cells and cortical remnant and the infusion of saline under the capsule by cleaning the anterior chamber with an ultrasound irrigating scratcher. Treatment of PCO includes Nd:ARG laser capsulotomy. Here the pupil is dilated using tropicamide plus, and then laser Nd:ARG laser is given in cruciate form by opening the posterior capsule, which improves the vision of the patient post procedure. That was about lens and its abnormalities and cataract. Thank you.